Dave, Bill, and Carmen here at the Joy FM with a very special guest this morning, an old friend.
Who's not old.
Exactly right. Somebody that we go back to the beginnings of her career and ours in many ways. Yeah.
Truly.
Yes.
We have been friends for a long time. Natalie Grant.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm so happy to be here.
Man, it has been, I want to say it's been a couple, I don't want to say it's been a couple of years.
I feel like it's been
I
a
think it
couple of
has,
years
yeah.
I mean,
since I've talked to you. I mean, I can't even believe that.
I know.
But I feel like it's been at least, maybe right around 2
and we
years.
were probably so spoiled there for so long because we saw each other every year for Team Freedom.
Yes.
And that was our 10-year run. And it was amazing.
Yes, thank you,
and
Lord.
yes, thank you, Jesus.
Incredible.
But I'm so excited. And Natalie, I mean, sorry, Dave and Bill, but I just got to
We
jump
know
in.
we know the routine.
I mean, I don't know. Do we start with perimenopause and weighted vests, or do we start with?
Where
I
do
mean,
we-
where do
HRT?
we?
What do we
Yes,
start
what do we start with?
Your girls.
Actually, that is exactly where I
Bill,
want
you
to
want to
start.
go get some coffee?
Sure.
Yeah. Go get coffee and come back in an hour. I want to talk about your girls because obviously we follow each other on Instagram, and I have cried and gotten teary over every post that you've posted because I have 2 girls. We have that in common. Well, you have 3. I have 2, but we have daughters.
Yes.
And so we've shared that over the years, what it's like raising daughters, and just seeing that Gracie and Bella have graduated. And
I can't even believe it.
And everything that you wrote, I was feeling it all again. And there's a few things that I do. I think I might have even, did I text you or I commented, and one of the things, and we'll get to this, but I said one of the things that I ended up missing all of Abby's, the second half year of her senior year, because I was grieving her leaving, that I didn't even get to enjoy. Everything was the last. This is the last time we'll decorate the Christmas tree. This is the last time we'll have Valentine's cookies. This is the last, and it's not. But anyway, just talk to us about that, because there's a lot of parents who are walking what you're walking right now with launching them out.
I think the first thing that's so interesting is that, when you are pregnant, there are more books and resources and podcasts for you. Like, okay, this is what to expect when you're expecting. And then you have your baby, and it's like, okay, you can do baby wise. You can do this. Should they co-sleep? Should they not? You have all of this information to kind of help you get them on a schedule. And then there's all these various things. And then all of a sudden, especially as moms, it's not that it's not hard for dads, but these babies came from our bodies. So it feels unnatural to just be like, okay, have a good life.
Right,
Like, I hope it goes well, you know, and I don't feel like there's enough that actually prepares parents for this season. I'm not sure anything could prepare you for it.
It can't.
But I mean, it was the first day of their senior year, and I kept like self-talking to myself, like, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna, don't let them see, like, just celebrate them, just celebrate them, just celebrate them, just celebrate them. They're like, Mom, are you crying right now? I'm like, I'm trying.
Not to. I'm trying.
They're like
not
telling
to.
me to hurry up and take the pictures because they need to get to school, and like my eyes are all blurred with tears. And they drove down the street, and I literally went into my bed and had like an actual grown-up adult tantrum. Like, I was like, how could this be the end? How could this be the last day? How can this be, like, how did it go so fast? And it was really like a crazy grieving for me that I think I wasn't prepared for.
You're not.
Like, I just wasn't. I thought it would be so fun. They wore their little senior whatever outfits they wear on that day, and I thought this is going to be a celebration. And it was like a grieving that it kind of put me into a funk where I thought, Nellie, you're going to have to get a hold of yourself.
It's so true.
And I'm so grateful that I was able to, like, the Lord, allowed me to be able to take from Christmas off until they graduated, so that I was home every single day. When they came home, I stood on the porch to welcome them home, and they were showing me they were irritated, like, oh gosh,
Here she is
the neighbors
again.
are gonna hear. But I know inside it's a core memory for them, and just things that I thought, okay, I can wallow in this grief, which I did many times throughout this year, or I can also choose to do things that make core memories for both of us.
For both,
you know?
yeah, that's so good. Well, when you bring them home from the hospital and you're rocking them at 2:30 in the morning, just honestly wishing you could put them back inside you for 6 hours so you could get some sleep. Dave's already shaking his head. But you think that season will last forever. You cannot see yourself past your children.
No.
And it really is, it is a grieving process.
It's so funny how there's these cliches and they become cliches because
they're true.
Real.
Yeah.
So like when somebody says to you, the days are long, but the years are short, it's real. Like you go, well, wait a second. Even just this senior year was literally like a blink. I was like, wait, we just took you, like we just watched you drive off and now you're driving off for your last day of school. How did those few months go by in what felt like a few weeks? Like everything's just, and I even say to parents, once you hit like middle school, even, it's like somebody puts the gas pedal on and you don't want it on. You're asking for somebody to put on the brake and there's just no brake that exists.
None.
It just is this constant acceleration, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and it just goes so quickly. Yeah. And I think the one thing I can say that, you know, we did a lot of things wrong and a lot of things I'm like, you know, that's the big part. I don't know if about you, but that I've had to work through is the feelings of regret.
100%. And I know this is going long, but I know parents are relating to this because I can remember, and actually my oldest is in the room, and I think we've even talked about this, but I can remember back in the day, honestly, you just try to survive the summers. Yes. It's like, what camps can they go to? What VBS can we? Yes. And there is the regret. There totally is the regret.
Why didn't I take more time? Why didn't I treasure more time?
Yes.
And that's natural to feel that
It is
way.
natural to
These
feel
are
that
the
way.
remarks, Dave, of two moms who have raised their girls really well.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I will say this, that the anticipation is worse than the actuality. You will grieve. Like when they leave, it will not be fun. I promise you that. But you will learn a new rhythm. You'll learn a new normal. And honestly, there's a new intimacy, or maybe, I don't know. This is me. I don't know if this will be with you. There's a new intimacy that you find with the Lord because your identity does start changing a little bit. It's not just Natalie and Bernie with their 3 daughters at home. It becomes, in which you still have Sadie at home, but it's like the Lord saying, okay, Carmen, I'm here. Yeah. I'm still number one, you know? So
you might need to rediscover that a little bit.
Yes.
Such a joy to have you sitting with us, Natalie. You're such a good friend. And you guys were talking about your girls going to college, Gracie and Bella, and it got me thinking about that picture that I'll never forget of my mom standing in the garage as I drove to Samford University and pulled the car out and started to drive away. It was 600 miles away from home. And she's just crying, just bawling. I'm like, what's wrong? What's the big deal? I'm going to college, you know? At college, I studied vocal performance. Okay. So I was a vocal performance major. I had to listen to a lot of opera. I had to perform.
Have I known you all these years and not known you were a vocal performance major? That's amazing.
I kind of stepped away from it a bit, but that's what's behind what I'm about to say. Now, you can go to Natalie's Instagram and you can see this moment. But one of the things I was really interested in was watching you try to time the singing of the National Anthem with the flyover at the Indy 500. Yes. Which was remarkable because you said you had no in-ears, you had nobody saying, time, okay.
No clock, and nothing. You slayed it.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, Natalie.
Behind that, you also should get an award for the longest held last note ever in the singing of the National Anthem. Natalie.
It was long.
Girl.
It was long.
I mean, Sister
I saw
Sue.
them coming, and I was like, I had talked to them beforehand, and I actually knew it was important to them. They had said, hey, we've just never had anybody care, which actually I was like, well, they might maybe just think they're nervous or, you know, but the pilots were like, we don't like to fly over the song. We like to hit it right at the end of the song so that the song doesn't get interrupted. And I appreciated that on their part. So then it was like, they kept saying, well, you need to be around 1 minute and 54 seconds. I said, who's going to tell me when I'm at like 1:45? Or they're like, well, there's no clock and I don't use, I'm like, so is it the clock in my head? Or because that's probably off. That's probably really off. So part of that long note was because I knew they wanted to fly over while I saw them coming and I was like, girl, you better take a big breath. You know, it seems like they've slowed down. So I was like, breath. wave, and they're still flying. I'm like, help me, Jesus.
You held it all the way while they passed over. It was,
Yes.
and Bernie, I think, was filming one of the angles on that, and he's just cheering.
Yes,
I love that moment.
We were, I'm telling you, we were at the beach, and my whole family, we were around the television at the beach to watch you sing that.
Special experience.
Yeah.
It's funny, even seeing it, when they first asked, I think you'll understand this. When you're in a moment where you just don't even have the capacity because you're like so wrapped up in, I was so wrapped up in graduation that they asked to sing the National Anthem at the Indy 500. And I don't think I'd really even stopped to just kind of weigh the kind of major thing that was. And so it was just like, I don't think I can do that. Because that's on grad weekend. And my family's coming in, and then we're going to have a dinner after. And so the people that own the track, Penske Motorsports, he was like, well, would it be okay if we sent a plane to pick you up and you can bring your family with? I was like,
let me pray about that for 1 second. Yes.
I can bring my parents and my sister and my brother-in-law. And they were like, oh, bring them all. I said, okay, yeah, I think I can do that. And then I realized that I think the Lord kind of gave it to me because, I don't know if this is like this with your kids, but when they graduate, that night, they go be with their graduating class. So I wasn't going to see them anyway. And I was like, the Lord gave this distraction to me. And it was a really incredible, and I met Tom Brady.
Okay. Listen, I was about to do the tease.
Okay.
What did I say? What have I been talking about?
Yep.
Because I was going to say, look, the National Anthem is great and all. However, girl, I am green with envy. So let me set the scene for you, Nat. So we're at the beach. It was mine and Pete's anniversary Memorial Day weekend. We're all around the TV watching you sing the National Anthem. I'm so proud of you. We're cheering. I'm like, you go, sister. You are killing it. So then you're done with the anthem. We didn't care about the race. So we get on our suits. We head down to the beach. I'm sitting on the beach. I'm under my umbrella. I'm sitting there talking with Haley. We've got, our little iced coffees. It's all a wonderful afternoon. And then, all of a sudden you start scrolling Instagram and you get DMs from listeners. And I had 3 DMs in a row from listeners saying, look who your girl just met. And they totally had a picture. They sent me a picture of you and Tom Brady. And she's got it right here.
There it is.
Okay. First of all, I am Team Tom, not Team Giselle. So, and most of Tampa is. So just please tell me he's the kindest, sweetest.
So I'm going to tell you the truth.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Okay, maybe it'll help my feelings a little bit.
So I know that he is very important.
Yes.
I mean, he is very important. And it was actually I felt like I was in the middle of like some reality TV show because there were legendary athletes with him. Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and I forget the other one that was with him, but they were all walking together. Like we all had to walk the red carpet, which is how I met him. And they're all walking, and there's an actor named Terry Crews, and I don't know if you know who that is, but he's funny, and he was engaging. He was hugging the fans, and Tom Brady walked the red carpet the entire time and never looked up from his phone.
Oh, no.
So I do want to say, I know, and maybe he was answering something important. I literally said to myself, maybe his daughter was texting him.
Yeah, we'll assume the best.
Maybe it was his mom. Yeah. Somebody was texting him. It was like, hey, so he was really engrossed. But then it was really interesting because there were all these like legendary athletes, and they were literally just at Tom Brady's orbit. Like Tom Brady is like, and it was interesting to watch. Like Derek Jeter, when I get like close to Tom Brady, and like Alex Rodriguez, when you get closer to Tom, and you're like, Tom's just kind of like, Tom. He kind of looks like he's been made in a lab. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he's like, you're like, are you like a robot?
Right.
There? Like
there is a commercial that suggests that perhaps he is.
Yes.
I'm looking at the picture right now. Let's just say he
was kind to me.
Okay, good.
He was polite.
Okay, good.
He was kind, and he didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Because I was just
right.
Yeah.
So he didn't know that you're a Seahawks fan.
Oh, and that's what everybody said. Did you say? Did you say? Did you say? And my husband, who didn't get to walk the red carpet, he was standing up watching it.
Yeah.
Bernie was like quietly yelling out, but what about Deflategate?
Oh, no.
And
he wanted to ask him.
And that's what's so hilarious, because back in the day, and the listeners, they remind me of this, because it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were the 2 main quarterbacks forever. And I was all about Pepe. Yes. Love me some Pepe. And I roasted Tom about Deflategate on the air.
Mm-hmm,
and then he comes to Tampa.
So
I know.
You know what?
All that
It's
went away.
Yeah,
we
I
can
know.
forgive.
I know.
When they win us that championship.
It's all
There is
forgiven.
grace.
Yeah.
All is grace.
Yes, all is grace.
As long as you win the Super Bowl.
Did you get that everything? No, it was
my
kind of
goodness.
legendary.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the GOAT. So.
He is.
I have to say, meeting Tom Brady is one thing, okay? And I know that turned Carmen green. Now I want to, I want to put the next nail in the coffin for her.
Oh, great. Do I know about this?
I don't know. Let's talk about Natalie Grant and Dolly Parton.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay, so that was a pretty. Have I ever told you guys this story?
I don't think, I mean, I know it's been a little bit, but I know.
This is like the story of all stories.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to tell you that. Okay. So, okay, I met Dolly because I was asked to open Dollywood, the season of Dollywood, which I thought, oh, that's so cool. They asked a Christian artist to open the season of Dollywood. Well, so I said yes, excited. My girls are coming. They're going to go to Dollywood. We love Dollywood. And it was like maybe 5 days before, somebody reached out and said, hey, Dolly's actually going to be there, and she was wondering if it wouldn't trouble Natalie too greatly, could she come sing a song with her? I'm like Dolly Parton wants to sing a song with me? So I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what song? Like what song do I sing with Dolly? And she literally said, Taylor, we're going to sing Just a Little Talk with Jesus from the Red Hymnal. So I'm literally Googling Red Hymnal, just a little, and she was serious. She wanted to do it straight out of the hymnal.
Oh, wow.
All 3 verses. And so it was really amazing because she comes into Dollywood, because she wanted to do a sound check. And there's just a couple of things I noticed. We all know Dolly is Dolly because you can just know she's the real deal. She loves people. She's smart. All of the things, right? She's generous. She's just... But when she walked in and she knew every person's name, the guy that was actually sweeping in the back hallway, she yelled out to him and asked how his son was. She just knew, and it wasn't like somebody feeding it to her and then she just knew. Like these people were her family, and that really spoke to me. So sang the song. She's really funny. And I thought I would be funny because Dolly is actually, her original house in Nashville is actually my neighbor. I mean, it's a little bit further across the lawn, but we have like, whenever it snowed, we like go and like sled next to the fence of where her house is. And we're like, just in case she looks out, we're like, hi, Dolly.
We're your neighbors.
So we're your neighbors. So I decided to tell her that on stage. I was like, well, I don't know if you know this, but if you just look over the fence, I could loan you a cup of sugar. She goes, honey, why don't you just stay on over there? I've made it a policy never to get too close to my neighbor.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay.
I do have the Red Hymnal. I was like, anything. So did that, amazing. I thought, life bucket moment. This is incredible. So I'm recording my last record. I did kind of a covers record. Yeah. I'm recording a song from Whitney Houston called Step by Step that just kind of carried me when I first moved into Nashville and worked at a temp job that I hated and just listened to that song every day on my way to work. And, I never even thought about asking Dolly to appear on that song. My manager did. So I didn't even know my manager had asked her. After we met each other, my manager, Mitchell, sent something to her manager and said, here's a song Natalie's doing. Would Dolly be interested? So he gets a note back that says, oh, Dolly loves Natalie so much, but she's actually in the middle of blah, 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 and she doesn't have time to do it. She was doing a covers record. She goes, it's just breaking her heart. She doesn't have time to do it, but tell Natalie she loves her. So I'm like, I didn't even know to be sad because I didn't even know that she'd been asked. It was 5 days later, I got an actual email on Dolly Parton letterhead. It said, in hot pink Dolly, it said Dolly at the top. And I'm like, if I had a fax machine, I'm pretty sure she would have faxed it. But she emailed it instead. And she just said, dear Natalie, I've been listening to Step by Step. It just keeps ringing and calling me back. And if it's not too late for me, could I sing it with you?
Okay, that just gave me chills.
Right.
Wow.
Like anybody is ever going to say, oh, I'm
no.
sorry.
I was like,
you missed your shot.
I am freaking out. I'm probably going to frame that and it'll be in the entry of my house.
100%. It needs to
Hot
be.
pink Dolly right there.
Yeah.
It just, and so she ended up singing that song with me, and it just was such an incredible life. I was like, all my kids grew up reading your imagination, whatever, library books. And so it was just kind of a life moment, but a dream come true. But literally, Dolly still writes letters on Dolly letterhead as you would expect her.
Yes.
to
Wow.
do.
That's
But
amazing.
so cool.
Natalie, we could.
Love you
You're
guys
one of our
so
friends. We
much.
could just spend hours with.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Feel
we
the same.
we don't have enough space in the show.
Yeah.
I want to get to something that's really important, because just sitting here with you and being reminded of who you are, you're the real deal. And I mean that in as high a compliment as I could. One of the things we know about you, and truly, I don't think it's overstatement to say it makes us feel better about this whole industry that we're in,
Yeah.
is that you love Jesus and you're solid in your faith walk. And I know none of us is perfect. And any of us, we are all sustained by God's grace. And grace alone is what saves us. But there are those people that the Lord has called into public positions who represent him well. And you are one of those people. So it means a lot to us that you are who you are, and that Bernie's who he is, and that your family are who they are. How important to you, because one of the things that is so important for anyone listening right now, if you're trying to walk with Jesus and you're trying to do it without the support of a local church, you just can't do it.
No.
How important is the belonging to you?
So the local church, for me, honestly, it's everything. It's God's design, so it's how he designed it. There is no perfect church, because I know that there will be plenty of people listening that have actually been hurt in a local church and hurt through different situations. And, again, that's not the church. It's people in the church, and there will always be imperfect people in the church. So there's no perfect church, but it is still God's design. And I don't know how people are able to walk out this faith life without community and accountability. People walking on the same narrow way as them. You'll be able to find a lot of people on the broad path, but when you're choosing to walk the narrow way, you have to have people that are going to walk on that with you. Otherwise, we are human, and our flesh will tell us to take a little shortcut here or a little turn there. But to stay on the narrow way, you have to have community. And for us, we became a part of a church called the Belonging Co. in 2016. We had been a part of church. I grew up in church. I am a local church girl. It's how I learned to sing. It's how I learned to lead worship. It's how I learned to make a set list. It's how I learned to arrange. Like, the local church has been everything to me as a child. But then it's really funny. Nashville is an interesting place in particular, because then you have a lot of us that go to work for God.
Yep. That's
Yes.
right.
And so then all of a sudden you're touring all the time, and then all of a sudden you're on the road all the time, and then you're on the road on Sundays usually, and then you don't even realize it. But the truth is, none of us are built for the spotlight. None of us are built for it. Only Jesus is actually built to maintain the spotlight. And it doesn't matter who we are. Even we can be walking with him, we can be in his word, we can be drenched in just the presence of the Lord, and the spotlight is still going to call out to us. It's still going to ask us for, and in our flesh, we're going to want it. We're going to want it. So I think in what I do in particular, community and accountability is everything, because you need the people in your life to ask you the tough questions. Obviously, we can look at things in the last few years, different ministries that have fallen, or different things that have happened.
People.
And I could tell you that probably they did not have probably did not have accountability. They probably did not have the right kind of accountability. Not people that are just going to tell you everything you want to hear.
Yeah.
But people that are going to ask you the hard questions. I've got people in my life that are asking me, hey, how are you doing? Hey, are you in the Word?
Right.
They're challenging me, because I can memorize the really good scriptures to sound good when I get up in front of on a platform.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how easy we can make people think that we're spiritual. It's kind of an easy thing to do. But I want people that actually can kind of look at the insides going, okay, but what's really going on?
You got to have somebody who knows your sin,
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
who knows your brokenness.
And at the belonging, something that really for us turned a corner for us is they brought us back into the understanding of the importance of repentance. And I think that we had just been going to church, right? We had our young kids. We've been going to a church. But when you come back into a community that's going to challenge you and open up and go, hey, every one of us have something to repent. And they put you into this habitual just way of, I'm going to just come before God with clean hands and a pure heart. And that comes through repentance. And I think that coupled with just really incredible community and accountability is everything. It's everything if you want to go the distance. Like I look at Stephen Curtis, I go, that guy, he's had accountability, he's had character, he's had people around him that have helped him walk this out well. I could list Casting Crowns who've stayed rooted in local church.
Yes.
Me, who are a part of a church. You can look at these guys, Jeremy Camp. You can look at the people that have been doing it. I mean, it's hard for me to believe I've been doing it as long as some of them, almost 30 years now. But you can look at those of us who are still here. And it is not just because we got lucky with a good song. It's because we surrounded ourselves with people that are helping us walk the long road.
Wow.
Yeah. So Natalie, I want to talk about your parents.
Yes.
I mean, I'd mentioned earlier when we started talking, just, seeing pictures on Instagram, but what you posted, I want to talk about legacy. And I want to tell everyone the one thing that Gracie and Bella wanted to happen, and it got to happen, and you caught a moment. Tell us about that.
So obviously I am the youngest of 5 kids in my family. So my parents were already a little bit older when they had me. And then I was a little bit older when I had Gracie and Bella. So they kind of always knew once they got into like kindergarten and other people's grandparents were showing up, they're like, my grandparents are old. Like they're older than all my friends' grandparents. So my dad's 89, my mom's 85. My dad just had the nerves in the bottom of his back are completely gone. And so he was not able to walk. And that happened the week before graduation. And my girls, from the time they were probably about 6 years old, started praying. We just want Grandma and Grandpa to live to see us graduate high school. They know maybe they'll live to see us get married, but it's less likely. So for them, it was, we want one major moment where Grandma and Grandpa can see us do something significant like that. And so the week before graduation, my dad's like, I'm going to do everything I can. I actually don't know if I can travel. I don't know that I can. So I called my church. I called I called every prayer group. I knew we were all praying. And then my dad at 89 just looked up on the internet to find the best exercises for him to do and did it. So when he got on that plane and landed in Nashville, it was really honestly a miracle. But there was this moment in their commencement, and Bella was singing she sings in a singing group at her school, and they were singing a song called Total Praise. And there's this moment in the chorus that says, you are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. And I just looked over and, in this very conservative environment, my 89-year-old dad and my 85-year-old mom have their hands raised and are singing and weeping. And I think just to know, I mean, they've been married for 68 years. They've raised 5 kids who are all walking with Jesus, 14 grandkids who have now all made a decision to follow Jesus. And that isn't because my parents were perfect parents. This actually really goes back to what we were talking about before. My dad and mom would say to any parent, you can't do this without the church. You can't do this without community. You can't do this without surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you in your parenting, parent your children well. But the other thing I've just watched with my parents is I've watched them stay tethered to the Lord. I will call at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they'll get on FaceTime and they'll say, oh, honey, and they have their cheeks are all wet. And they'll be like, oh, you just caught us in the middle of our scripture time. And, I'm thinking all these years later, they did that with us when we were kids. And they did that, when we're home. But to know that my parents are still doing that with each other, that is legacy. That is that long road of obedience I've mentioned many times throughout our conversation today. And I look at my dad, and he'll always say, oh, you know, I'm the wealthiest man in the world. Like, I know Bezos thinks he's pretty rich, but I'm actually the wealthiest man in the world because I have the wealth of my family.
That's right.
And it's just been a really beautiful gift, a beautiful gift.
So sweet.
In some ways, we're going to circle back around to where we started, because we started talking about family and your girls and your graduating high school, and just your twins have so many stories. I mean, there was the fight to get to a point where you could have the twins. There's a cover of People magazine, People Health, with you and Gracie. She's got her own stuff, but I'm sitting here and I'm remembering Sadie. I can remember one day where we sat down to interview you in a hotel room in Tampa, and Sadie was crawling under the table while we're doing the interview.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering right now, the twins are having their moment with graduation, but Sadie has always been, in many ways, the star of the show.
Yes, she has.
So
yes.
we can't leave this morning without finding out what's up with Sadie.
That really means a lot,
Sweet
and it will mean
Sadie.
so much to her, because she probably will be like, did they talk about me? Help us, Jesus. Actually, it's been so incredible to watch Sadie. She is still that girl. She walks into a room and just kind of lights the room up. It actually is a gift I feel like God's put in her. She's really good at building people up. As she's 14 now, and so she's going to be starting at a new high school. I mean, pray for her, because losing her sisters, both her sisters at the same time, and that upper hallway getting quiet and their rooms getting quiet, like she can't even talk about it without crying. And so that part, you know, I think going from 5 to 3, and she's just stuck looking at us, because family dinner is a big thing at our house. So she'll just be looking at mom and dad like, I'm just stuck with you too. And then it's going to click for her like, wait a second, I'm stuck with you too. I get all the attention. I get all the
shopping trips,
all
the
things.
nails, the
But
toes.
she's doing really well. She just got back from church camp, where she was a leader for kids camp. And she just loved it. So, you know, she always loves when she's in charge of something or somebody. I'm telling somebody what to do. But it's been really cool over the last few years to watch her relationship with the Lord really develop into this, like, she takes this authority as a 14-year-old. She can pray. I don't know if y'all remember, but in 2017, when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer and told I may never sing again, I remember telling the kids, Sadie was only, 6 years old. And I remember when we told them, they got kind of nervous and quivery lips, like, cancer sounds scary. And Sadie said, this is what we're going to do. We aren't just going to pray and ask God to heal you. We're going to thank him that he already has. And I just remember that kind of faith in a 6-year-old mind. I was like, oh yeah, look out. Look out. Sadie will not be left behind. So she's
amazing.
doing amazing, and she will love that you asked about her.
Yeah,
Thank you
14.
for
She's
asking.
gotten so tall. We see her
taller
on
than all of
Instagram.
us.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she is 2.5 inches taller than her twin sisters now. So, and she might not be fully done growing. So she's taller. She looks old. If she was here and you were talking to her, you'd be like, Sadie, why are you 14 going on 30?
Yeah.
She is wonderful. So thank you for asking about her. And just for parents that are, and I know we're probably wrapping and I'm talking too long.
No.
Just for parents that, 2 things as I've been walking through this that have been helpful for me, just practically. One is to take the time so that you don't have as many regrets at the end. Keep a clean slate with your kids. Like, if you do something during the season, it's been so high stress, like a lot of high stress. And I'd like to say that I handled myself well. I didn't always. I would lose my temper, or I would say something I shouldn't have said. And that immediate repentance, immediately owning what I did, and actually letting the parent go low and letting them see you say, I am so sorry for doing that. I shouldn't have done that. Or, man, let's talk about something that you might be carrying that I did. Like, having that open dialogue is so important. And then another thing is, I read a book called Loosening My Grip, and it's just letters of a mom to her son who was going to college. And one of the things she said in one of the prayers she wrote was, God, help me to now look through the lens of his excitement for his future instead of through the lens of looking back on my life. And I think good. That was just good. Such a helpful, I keep saying that, like, I keep looking back going, but how did it go so fast? But why didn't we do that? But we could have. And instead of looking through that lens going, I'm actually going to try to put on Bella's glasses because she's so excited to be going to Florida, and look through that lens, look through Gracie's glasses, look through those lenses. She's so excited to be going to Belmont, and get excited for them, and then go cry my eyes out probably.
Totally. Because here's the reality. If we do our jobs well, we're raising them
to do this,
to leave. Right. We're raising them to be able to go, to not need us in the way.
Fly high, just not too far.
I know, not too far. Yes. Oh goodness.
It's been a good day. It's always fun to sit down with you.
Guys, I love you all.
Be sure to tell Malibu Bernie we said hi.
Yes. And he is looking just as, because he's been outside, so he's got that tan going, and his hair's all blonde for the sun, but he's got a little bit more white in the hair.
I know the feeling.
Wisdom. That's wisdom.
His team is in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We're Edmonton Oilers fans.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Sorry, because I know there's the Florida team.
We are not. It's Florida Panthers. No. We are Lightning.
Okay.
We are anti.
Of course.
We're anti-Florida Panthers. They play dirty, 100%. Yes, they play dirty.
So
they do.
Bernie calls them rats. But
they are. They play dirty.
Like they're dirty rats.
Here we go.
100%. Okay.
He's got his hockey beard, so we call him Santa Claus.
Well, quick thing about Bernie and Canada. We visited Banff last year for our summer vacation.
Yes. No more place more beautiful.
There's no place.
Yeah.
It
is actually Lake Louise, and all that area is just
majestic.
Stunning.
You cannot even describe the color of the water. No. Okay, Natalie, I've got a little gift for you. So here's the thing. The last couple of years, merch drops are all the thing.
Oh, yes.
And I've had Joy sweatshirts that I've designed with my graphic designer and all that kind of good stuff. Well, I have a phrase that my team, I guess I've known that I've said this a lot, and I use it in different situations, but, it's one thing when they basically put a video together to show you that you say something a lot. So, Dave, Bill, help me out here. How this is?
What does the Bible say? By the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every fact be established. There were 7, 8, 9 witnesses
at least.
Yeah,
yes,
a lot. So I love to say,
"Let me pray about it."
Let me pray about it. So
that's a perfect phrase.
Oh, and I use it like, say for example, they say, "Car, will you buy us all lunch today?" I'll go, "Let me pray about it." Or they'll say, I don't know, even the girls, they'll say, Mom, I don't pray about that. I do.
Hey, can we paint the studios orange?
Let me pray about it. Which essentially means no.
Right.
So if she's saying that, it's just her way of saying,
right.
That's not going to happen.
And it's so funny because our coworker Stevie B, he was probably the first one to highlight this for me, because he had asked me something one day. This was years ago, and I was like, I don't know, let me pray about it. He goes, just say no. That's what you're saying, is just say no. So, Hells, if you will bring for us, I had some hats made this summer.
I love a hat.
I know, you're wearing. I know. I'm like, Natalie's my hat girl. Natalie, these things, Dave, Bill, back me up. These things have been hotcakes this summer.
Yes.
I have. Well, I was going to say, you don't have to.
The color is very reminiscent of a certain NG hat.
Oh. So it says, yep.
Did I take the sticker off?
Oh, no, sticker's right here. So anyway, the hat says, let me pray about it. But I'm telling you, the listeners are coming for me to be able to buy these hats.
This is perfect because
so
we are about to have to put together 2 dorm rooms. Not one, but 2 separate ones. And they are asking, with Instagram, I got a pair of bed sheets and a bedspread and possibly 1 towel.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, you're going to do fine. You're going to do just fine. These dorm rooms, they
bougie.
Make it interior. I'm like,
designers. I know.
This is not happening. So now they're gonna be like, Mom, coming up there. Let me pray about it.
Let me pray about it.
Let me pray about it.
Read the hat. Read the hat.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Let me pray about it. Which means
love it.
No. That is out of our budget. No.
Oh my gosh,
Thank you. This is perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys
love
much. I love it. I love what God is doing to how he's expanding, how he's growing, because you said I was the real deal, but you guys are the real deal, and you actually are smart at business, but your first and foremost concern is the gospel of Jesus.
Thanks,
so I
Nat.
just love you guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
We love you.
Love you.
Love you.